This is the end of week market recap. So right now we're looking at gold and gold. As we can see, gold started pushing down, then we end up pushing up, and then eventually, really an indecisive week. Right now we're still underneath the 5,000 level, so this still operating as a resistance. But as you can see, we do got this some kind of like a fail low here. So it could be interesting seeing it break this neckline because it's like a fail low of this. So, um, but very indecisive. Overall, gold is still currently bullish. There's no, even though we had this nice, huge drop. Let's see how far this dropped right here. So it did drop. Yeah. So it only dropped 21%, and then for this week it done already recovered back up, pushing overall back up. So yeah, it already covered a good bit. So we're still overall bullish, especially with a closing like this for this week. So this is actually would be considered a bullish CRT setup going to next week actually. So um, and then yields kind of gave me a huge shock actually. Yields when it came up testing this high right here, we actually dropped down back, but we are overall still above this support area. But so it's gonna be kind of interesting. I'm gonna delete this. This don't matter no more. And now just like a kind of support level, the new range that we in. So it broke out one range, just to create a whole nother range. So that's kind of interesting. But I think that yields is not something you would trade. Yields is something you can use to kind of understand what other things could be doing. So and then DXY actually ended up closing. You can say somewhat bullish, but we didn't really move too much this week. But overall, still closed bullish. But and I wouldn't be surprised if DXY still dropped though. I'm just be honest, because if we look at the weekly, we're still like I explain that on the next week market breakdown. I'm not gonna go ahead. This is the end of week market recap. So and then we got UJ. UJ actually closed bullish. So we actually had a nice bullish CRT set up. So that was pretty cool to see this how this play out. See this play out right here. But I hope y'all had a good trading week. Yeah, this actually is a perfect example of a bullish CRT setup. So what is a CRT setup? It's when price, as you see here, like is in a nice down momentum, right? But then the next candle end up closing, either bullish or indecisive. Like this right here is still like buyers taking back control. Even though it closed red, it still end up pushing back up, showing a huge rejection. So either closing bullish or showing a strong rejection candle like this. Personally, I don't really go by the names, anyways. But yeah, so usually on that next candle, you'll see price push up and then come overall here, take out either the opening or the high of that candle. So that's usually how bullish CRT set up. But I would still be cautious of this right here. But like I said, other than that, that's pretty much would be this end of week market recap. As always, make sure you have study this week, back test. Saturdays, weekends really the best time to really study and learn from either your mistakes or just it's always room for improvement. Whether it's just learning how the market operate or learning anything macro event news or fundamentals like this weekend, I'm probably gonna look into just patterns of the cycle because I know the market always operates in a cycle, not just from a chart standpoint, but like I was listening to Larry Williams and he said something like I can't remember. I got to put in my notes, but it's something he said something like if the market close the previous close high the previous day, then like it was something I can't remember, but point is like it was something like the market moves in different cycles, you know what I'm saying? Like different stuff when it comes out to like the opening. I wish I could remember it. I mean, it was an hour video, so I can't remember by heart. But point is, you want to always, study. There's always room for improvement. You know what I'm saying? Especially, if you're trying to do this, long term and really be serious about this, back test. or just study the chart, or study, whether it's your emotions, how your emotion was this week, So other than that, make sure you have proper risk management. Stay disciplined. Do not overtrade. Like I always tell y'all, before you enter in a trade, you should always know how much you're risking before entering a trade. You should always know where your trade is no longer valid at. So other than that, I hope you had a good trading week, and I will see you on the next. I guess you can say the next new trading market breakdown week, or the new week, the new thing. My words can't get from, but with the new trading week will be my next market breakdown. So on that, deuces.